expect that they were capable of.
Yeah, top seeds, of course, going into the qualifying campaign. They've been disappointing. But Mike Taylor hasn't been disappointing for Northern Ireland during this qualifying campaign, and he had one save to make so far tonight.
He did, and probably should have done better. if I'm honest, they have looked threatened from set pieces. That's the one part of their game. They've got a lot of big lads, and Mike normally does a little bit better than that.
Just about got
there, but again, he's been outstanding servant.
Michael?
Yeah, he's done enough there to put the attacker off. I think the attacker could have been slightly braver. I think it hits off his shoulder in the end. He kind of ducks out of it, but in many ways it typifies the game. Their best sort of opportunities have came from that, left hand side, whether it be from a set play or from general play. But Northern Ireland have dealt well with the crosses, and Mike, as Jim says, is I think, I'm not sure the exact number. It's 80 something caps I think tonight, and I think it has been mentioned that he intends to play on, and that's a big positive for Northern Ireland.
Johnny Evans out of the Northern Ireland side tonight. What have you made of young Ryan McGivern's performance, who came in to replace him at left back?
I think he's been steady. I don't think he's had too much to do, to be honest with you. And what he's done very well. Obviously, we'd like to see him get on the ball a little bit more, and maybe take the opportunity to join in and help McGinn out with regards to when Northern Ireland have the ball. I'd like to see him higher up the park and maybe deliver a few crosses. But defensively, very solid. Back forward looks solid all night. Goalkeepers hasn't really had too much to do. So I think he can be pleased.
Yeah, McGivern, I suppose, like a lot of the Northern Ireland players, is playing most of his football here tonight at international level. He's at Manchester City on loan at Leicester, but not really getting any football there either.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, he's still a young lad. I think he's only 19. The clip there we see, I think a big part of his game. He is an aggressive lad there. He goes into 3 or 4 challenges one after the other, and that is a big part of his game. He was unfortunate when he made his debut at Hampden Park, where he was sent off rather harshly as well that night. But again, he's in a difficult situation, because it's hard to see how he'll come through at Manchester City with obviously the spending power that they have, and he needs to find a club where he can kickstart his career and get playing first team football, and on the back of that, he has the chance to establish himself as an international player.
He signed a 3-4 year deal, I think, at Manchester City, but at the end of the day, he's got to get out playing games, and he took the opportunity to go to Leicester. He'd probably be disappointed he hasn't played more games since, but Leicester, actually doing very, very well. But he needs to mature, and he just needs competitive games. Northern
Ireland have kept the ball well tonight, and that's one of the big positives for them.
Yeah, they've kept it well, I think, in the middle third of the pitch in particular, without actually being able to knock it forward. The problem they have at times when they do knock it forward, their only obviously target here is David, and we now really end up with a midfield beyond David, and we now don't have a target in the forward area. So they've knocked it about well, but
they're not really going to threaten from there.
They're never going to create anything from there. Only in the last 5 minutes, when they got in at the final third and they kept it a bit higher up the pitch, did they create opportunities. And it would be nice to see.
And it'd be fair to him, young McGinn's trying to be positive there. He really is trying to be positive. And again, this is the best move in the game.
Good piece of play, good cross in, and Stephen Davis. Because they've kept it for the length of time they did there, it gave the midfield players the opportunity to support and get in the box. But we found sometimes when you play with one up front, the midfield players haven't really got up to support early enough. David doesn't tend to get the ball in the channel, so he's coming to the ball a lot, and as a result of that, we're playing in that area of the pitch where we're not going to cause them a lot of problems.
Niall McGinn's performance tonight, what have you made of that, Jim?
Again, he's worked extremely hard. He's defensively, he's been again very, very solid. When they shift the ball from one side of the park to the other, it's important that when he does get on the ball, this is what he's good at. And to be fair to him, he has showed no fear. He's been very, very composed on the ball. His options, he hasn't given the ball away very often. I think he's looked lively. This is a great run, fantastic ball, and probably should be celebrating his first goal. If he makes any contact at all, it's a goal.
He's got pace, Michael, as well.
Yeah, he's very direct. Good pace, as you say. He's always going to come inside, being right side, although he's playing on the left tonight. But what is pleasing there is that he comes in, he links the play, and when he then finds himself in around the box, he has to be fair. He's thought like a striker there, and he's made a clever run. So it'd be nice to maybe see if he did get the opportunity to play on the right. Is he more direct in terms of going to bylines and that there? But as Jim says, he's worked very hard, and when he has got the ball, he's looked capable of perhaps maybe trying to create something.
Still young, and some good reports coming out of Scotland about McGivern making the odd start for Celtic too, which is encouraging.
Yeah, Tony Mowbray and Mark Venus, who I know well, like him and think that he's got you know, a lot in him. I think they feel that he's still maturing. You know, he had a very good upbringing at Derry, and he's progressed, and he's progressing nicely. And you know, I think they will play him, and obviously they'll take him out of the side. Again, it's all part of his education, and tonight will go a long way to affect that. And I think that again, he can be pleased. You know, it's a game. It's probably a great game for him to play.
Some strength and depth.
Yeah, young McGivern, just 22 years old, made a fantastic competitive debut tonight, didn't he, Jim?
He did. Again, everything he did with regards to his defensive responsibilities, he did great. But this is where you want the lad, you know. This is what he's always been very good at. I just think that he was very composed, was very relaxed on the ball. I think his options when he was on the ball were very good. I think he picked the right pass. He was... his all-round game, he can be very, very pleased, and certainly something to really work on. He's playing from the left-hand side where normally he plays on the right-hand side, and he could have marked a great debut with a debut goal.
Yeah, McGivern, impressed tonight, Michael?
Yeah, I was. It's the first time I've seen him really over 90 minutes. I've seen obviously cameos of him when he's come off the bench, both at Celtic and in the previous Northern Ireland friendly international. But he took to it very easily. It was a good outlet for us tonight because he was prepared to carry the ball. That's a great wee piece of play there. He's very positive to get by, and I mean, he's unlucky. He does everything right. Deserved the goal for it because individually that was a superb piece of play, probably maybe the best piece of individual play in the game. I like him on the left. His problem is on the left is when he has the beating of the defender, is obviously his left foot's not a stronger foot, you know. And with time, if he can work on that, he'll be a real threat on either wing.
And that just shows that, you know, the one negative side of playing that system is obviously getting bodies in the box. And, you know, that showed there in that one particular instance, if you get bodies in the box.
But not afraid to take players
no,
on, go forward.
He was so confident all night. That's what really, really impressed us.
And he was a great outlet because in the second half, they just played balls.
Have any impact on the seedings for the European Championships, but Northern Ireland did get themselves up for the game, and you could see second half that getting a point away from home meant something to them.
Yeah, because over recent years that's where they've struggled, and it's probably cost them places in major championships. I think again defensively they were very, very solid all night, and have been. You know, they haven't really been, you know, other than probably the last game at Windsor Park where they didn't play, where they didn't defend
defensively,
didn't defend our weakest, particularly well. But again, I just felt that Michael's right. You know, he will. If Nigel carries on, adopt a system where it's going to enable them to pick up points, because they need to pick up points on their travels.
As you say, defensively tonight very good, and it was just that last game against Slovakia was probably the...
It was fantastic, but the qualification process in those days wasn't as difficult as what it is now. So
it's a clean sheet tonight, but a couple of scares for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, if you go to the Czech Republic, you're going to expect a very good side to create chances, but you know, we're sitting here, I didn't really feel, you know, Czech Republic were going to open Northern Ireland up. I just didn't feel, I felt quite comfortable here.
Mike's had busier nights, to be honest, you know what I mean? He had a much busier night in Poland away, for example. They didn't work him enough, they didn't hit the target enough when they got into good areas. As I say, Jan Kolowski put some great balls in the box. That's an example of that.
That's a great ball. He hit one first half. Again, he's a AC Milan, it's a wonderful ball, and you would really back against him scoring a goal there, but other than that, you know, there wasn't really. Again, he's a very important player for them.
When you talk about Mike Taylor, a player who's not playing regularly for his club, but he's going to be an important stalwart for Northern Ireland, especially when you're trying to blood some young players and bringing them through in the future. Yeah,
you know, he came in good decision to punch there, great save. You know, that just shows that 38, it doesn't really matter. His agility-wise and his reaction-wise are still there. Deals with this ball. Good decision here because it looks as if it's going wide, but I think maybe it is threatening in the top corner. But you know, Mike has made good decisions. I think he's a particularly good campaign. This campaign, you know, I can't think of any goal where you would sort of say he could have done better, or he could have, you know, you could point the finger in any shape or form. And it's disappointing for him because after 80 odd caps, you know, he deserves the opportunity to go to a major tournament. And you know, hopefully, if he can play for the next 2 years, he may get that.
Yeah,
you know.
and at 38. Mike obviously knows his own body. He knows how to get himself into that zone, if you like, and maybe